PR Connections Radio presents. This episode of the PR Connections podcast is brought to you by Classy Communications PR and Advertising. Classy Communications provides public relations and marketing solutions for businesses, professionals, and nonprofit organizations. They can deliver the true meaning of your business with press releases, social media marketing, web development, email marketing, book publishing, and much more. Wherever your potential clients are, they can help you connect with them. Visit classycommunications.net to learn more about their suite of services that can help your business stand out from the rest. Classy Communications is your solution for business success.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Union Influence podcast here on prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media. We are coming to you live from Communities Unite. It's an event that is hosted by SCIU 1107 here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Guy Dawson, and I am your host. And we are here for the second half of this fantastic event. We've had some of the most amazing guests who've come through, entertainers. We've had all different types of community leaders, and we definitely have a community leader who is here with me right now. His name is Quentin Savoy.
Savoy, you got it.
I got it. And French is not one of my second languages, but I get lucky every once in a while.
There you
Quentin.
go.
Welcome to the Union Influence podcast.
Thank you so
by
much.
the way, he is the president of the Las Vegas chapter of the NAACP. I don't want to leave that out. This is a very significant community leader here in Vegas, and so glad to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. It's my privilege. It's been a long day.
Yes, it has, Quentin. And again, when you're a hardworking guy like you,
Well, I appreciate that.
boy, it's being a part of constituency group and like yours and representing so many people. You know, what's that like? What's it like being president of NAACP chapter? Tell us about that.
My funny answer is it's a lot of sleepless nights,
Yeah,
a lot of gray hair, a lot of racing thoughts. Am I doing this right? That's the joke. It is where I'm learning and cultivating and developing my own leadership, and it's a real privilege to serve. In this moment, though, it's especially meaningful as we are watching fascism and extremism rise in our country, where we're watching there be so much public distrust in our systems. I'm really trying to create a culture within our NAACP of how we take care of one another, how we show up stronger for each other so that we can rebuild some of that civic trust with one another. Fascism thrives when people don't trust one another and when we retreat to our corners. So just trying to build a culture of shared leadership, figuring out how we can build the world we deserve.
Yeah, what inspired you to seek leadership in the NAACP?
Oh, man, that's a great question. Well, my grandmother had me involved with the association as a child. I remember going to conferences, visiting her in California, and at the time they were very boring and I didn't know what was going on. But being always surrounded by the movement in some way or another and having a lot of reverence for history, I realized that I had a real obligation to honor those who preceded me, not only in this role, but in the National Association. I mean, this organization is 117 years old, and people have sacrificed time away from their families. They put their bodies on the line. They have really held their ground when it comes to making sure America makes good on her promise of liberty and justice for all. So it just feels like I have an obligation to repay that debt for those who made it possible for me to sit here and talk to you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the NAACP has been so significant on different levels, Quentin, in terms of the history of this country and the empowerment of African Americans in particular, but so many other people. And being a representative of that type of legacy, I see that being so important.
Yeah.
And continuing the work, right? Yeah. Again, there's a whole different climate that we are, well, what do they say? The more things become different, the more they stay the same. Yeah. And so fighting battles that you thought maybe you wouldn't have to be fighting again.
It's my grandmother passed when she was 93, and one of the last things she said to me was, y'all got a lot of work ahead of y'all. And it was funny in the moment, but she's absolutely right. So many of these fights today are just repackaged. They're the same fight of yesteryear that is it's got a new wrapper on it, and it's got a new bow on it. One example of this is this ballot measure question next year to require people to show their photo ID to vote. When you look at history would tell you that type of that type of something is a voter suppression tactic. It's designed explicitly to suppress people from being able to vote. Well, what does that mean when people can't vote? It means your voice isn't heard, right? So to be meeting this moment with things that used to be is really unnerving, but it's also a great privilege to make sure we're educating our community members about why it's important and preserving the thing that we got to pass down to our nieces and nephews, our kids, our sisters and brothers, etc.
And running the chapter, I mean, needing so many people in order to make an organization like the NAACP work, because it really is all about the people, right,
Yeah.
Quentin?
Yeah.
You and I were leaders of organizations, but you and I know that if we don't have the people to support what we do, you're not leading anything.
Right.
So what about the constituency that you serve through the organization? How do you get everybody in sync? How do you keep everybody on the same plane
Absolutely.
in order to be able to continue to serve in the way that you know is so important for all of us?
A big part for me has been about having the right partners, right? Partners like the ACLU of Nevada or SEIU 1107, having the right partners that are willing to go to the mat with you when justice is on the table, right? One of the first cases that hit my desk when I became president of the branch was a school incident where school law enforcement mistreated one of our young people. It was SEIU and the ACLU who were at court with us, demanding that there be accountability and that the school district be transparent in their dealings on this particular matter. So when it comes to activating our branch and our members at large, it's making sure we have the right strategic partners in community that can help build up our own credibility and the army that we're amassing at the NAACP so that we can have a stronger voice together when it comes to all the things. Rather that's having stronger education, rather that's having more affordable housing, rather that's having access to health care, or rather that's keeping voter suppression out of our state constitution. You got to have the right partners, like-minded allies, if you will, to sit at the table with you.
And in terms of your membership, I mean, encouraging people to become a part of organizations like the NAACP, what is your approach to that? I guess, I mean, it's always about value. Again, I know the NAACP is a well-established organization that's been around for a long time. People know about it, but again, we're in a different time frame.
Right.
A lot of younger people are not necessarily as connected, and I know you're one of those. You're a unique younger person who has understands what the NAACP represents, but for a lot of these younger people, they really
don't know.
They haven't been a part of the struggle. I was lucky because I'm a little bit past the civil rights movement of the 60s, but I still was really influenced by that back in the 70s, whereas a young person now, they just don't have that. So how do you keep the young people involved in this?
I'll be honest with you. It's hard to keep the young people engaged by way of reverence for the history, which is why I know that this effort to rewrite history and to dictate what our schools can and cannot teach is a direct attack on organizations like the NAACP. So my approach as president to try to attract young people into our work and our movement is helping them understand that we are responsible for creating the world that we deserve, particularly in Las Vegas. All this was desert 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 100 years ago. So the fact that any of this exists is the sheer magnitude of people desiring to create something. And we have the capacity within ourselves to create the world that we deserve. And that's what I try to tell our young people. Like, life today won't be like 10 years from now. And the decisions you make today will inform that life that we have as an individual and as a community. So how is it and what is it that we want to have? Does that mean we have more affordable housing? Does that mean that we have more trees? Does that mean that we have whatever it is that we want? Because that's what we can create. So I try to bring it to them in that way. And it is kind of hard when you're competing with stagnant wages and high costs to imagine what's possible. But that's our responsibility. And if we don't have that vision in mind, we will just be idle and sit by as things happen to us and not for us.
Yeah, I love your passion, Quentin, and I love your belief in the mission. Again, you've been bred and raised in this for a long time.
My daddy was a Teamster. A lot of that has that to do with that.
Right, yeah. I've been talking about, you're raised in that union background. You really, there's a frame of mind, right?
Yeah.
Just like being an activist, which is what you have become. There's an upbringing that also lends to that. And so for everybody out there, how can they support NAACP Las Vegas?
Oh, goodness. Please visit our website, naacplasvegas.org. We have our upcoming fundraiser, our Big Freedom Fund brunch. Will be at the Aliante Hotel and Casino Sunday, October 26th. We're honoring 3 very important community pillars and raising money for our young people. It's important to invest in our young people when they pursue vocation schools or college. So we have a branch scholarship fund that event will benefit.
All right. Well, thank you, Quentin, for your leadership and contribution to the community, and keep up the good fight.
It's my pleasure to serve, brother. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Take care.
All right. So yes, these again, so many different community-oriented events that are or organizations that we're able to connect with through Communities Unite, and just really enjoying the opportunity to do what we're doing. And so we got a state senator. Oh, isn't that wonderful? State senator by the name of Nicole Canizaro. Uh, Miss Nicole, will you come on over, and looking forward to having you as a part of the Union Influence podcast.
I'm
Welcome
gonna bring
to
a
our
guest
show.
if that's
Oh,
okay.
of course. And what's his name?
So this is my oldest. His name is Case.
Hey,
Say
how
hi,
are you, Case? Boy, that lollipop, I almost want to take it away from you.
You got lucky and found a good one, huh? What flavor is that? Blueberry? Is it yummy?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks yummy. Well, welcome to the Communities Unite, of course, and the Union Influence podcast. What brings you here?
So I obviously am just a huge supporter of SEIU and organized workers. My parents were culinary workers here in Las Vegas. My mom and dad are born and raised in Buffalo, New York, and they actually moved out here before I was born because Las Vegas was a great place for people who were a bartender and a waitress who didn't have a high school education to come and be able to build a life, right? To have wages that sustain them, to be able to raise a family, my sisters and I. And so I was born and raised here in Las Vegas in a union household. And I know very much how important it is that we support working families because I come from a working family, and I know how important it is to make sure that we have strong union rights here in Nevada. And so, I'm always happy to join SEIU and all of the community partners, honestly. Obviously, in my legislative work, I do a lot of work with everyone who's here today at Communities United. So thanks for having me today.
How long have you been in the state Senate?
So I've been in the state Senate for about 10 years now. I was first elected in 2016. When I ran, the state Senate had a one-seat Republican majority, and one of the things that they took in that first session with the majority that they took off very early in the session was to strip away union rights. And that was probably one of two issues that really motivated me to run. Another one was making sure that we were funding public education. I am a proud product of the Clark County School District, the first in my immediate family to graduate from high school, the first in my family to graduate from college, and to go on and earn an advanced degree. And so between those two things, in 2016, they were looking for somebody to run in a district that was going to be a really hard race. And I was asked if I would run by then Attorney General, then Minority Leader Aaron Ford. And we ran in that race and won in 2016, and I have been serving ever since. In 2019, I became the first female to be the state Senate Majority Leader. So I'm the first woman in Nevada history to hold that position.
Wow, well, congratulations. And I've had an opportunity to kind of follow your career as you've been in politics throughout all these years. Why do you continue to serve? What is it about being in the legislature that makes you continue to want to go above and beyond, right? I'm sure you have a full life in other areas along with being a state senator. Why do you keep doing it?
So, I actually came into politics not because I was looking to become a politician, but because I cared very much about those issues, and to me, those were things that mattered, right? Having access to a good quality public education made a difference for me. The difference between me being able to have the opportunities I have today or not having those opportunities. I know that a good paying union job for my parents, who were a bartender and a waitress, is very different from other types of jobs that they could have worked. And for my parents, that was key to making sure that they could, support us. For me, when you're in the legislature and you have an opportunity to really take on a fight, and I would always say that I'm really somebody who has found myself taking on a lot of fights in the legislature and making sure that, we're fighting for people. And whenever you are able to work on a piece of legislation and you can walk into a committee room and talk to folks about an issue, and you have all of these folks behind you coming up and talking about how this change in the law would impact their everyday lives, like that is the stuff that keeps you going. That's the thing that for me, as a legislator, keeps me running for re-election in tough races, that despite some of the political rhetoric that's out there, means that we can still come to Carson City. We still in Nevada can do really good work. And I'm also a practicing attorney for the last 15 years and a mom of 3 amazing little boys. And so I do have a lot going on, but I also know that this is a community that has raised and supported me. And I know that I want my kids to have that same opportunity. And so whenever you pass a piece of legislation and afterwards someone comes to you and says, hey, what you did in the legislature changed my life, that is what keeps me fighting. And that's what keeps me doing politics, for sure.
So, unionism is under attack, not only at the local level or within our state, but nationally.
Yes.
What can we do to preserve the values of unionism? As you mentioned, having been raised in a union household and being a huge supporter of what we do, how can we protect what we have?
Yeah.
How can we maintain all of the things that make unions so beneficial to working class citizens in this country?
I think it is 2 things, really. I think first and foremost, I agree with you that we are seeing a lot of unprecedented attacks on things like collective bargaining and things like union rights, and being able to say that we deserve to, work a job and support our family, that we deserve to have benefits as part of that we deserve to have access to affordable and accessible health care. Those sorts of things are absolutely being undermined in every way, shape, and form. So I think first and foremost, we have to keep making the case that it matters. Our voices, and don't forget that I think that's such a unique pillar, not only of the United States and our democracy, right, which we are striving to keep, but also of what it means to be a union member, right? We organize. We tell people, this is why this is going to benefit your family. Because when you can work one job, when you can go to the doctor and you can see a doctor and you can pay, a small copay, or you can afford to go to the doctor if your kid is sick, if you can afford with your job to keep it and to be able to buy a home, right, and have a place to raise your family, those are things that unions 100% provide, right? And if you think of any protection that there is in the law when it comes to employment, so much of that has stemmed from the hard work of union organizers, things like child labor laws, things like our 40-hour work week, right? Those things come from strong labor movements. And so I think that it is important for us to remember our union roots and to go back to that, right? To keep saying to our friends, to our neighbors, to our elected officials, like, this matters for us. And if what you care about is raising a family in a good community and being able to provide for them and all that, then you have to believe in the rights of union and working families. And we can't let that be eroded, right? We can't let that narrative get lost. And so we have to make sure that we're still organizing and our voices are still heard. And I think the second part of that is that we have to have fighters in elected positions, right, that are willing to step up and to say, no, we are going to push back against this. No, we believe in working people. No, we are not going to let this, simply fall by the wayside or be eroded under the guise of something else, or to say that people don't deserve these very basic things as part of their everyday lives.
Yes, it's so important, I think, for the legislators to have that mentality in the preservation of unionism. I really appreciated having the chance to talk to you today. I had one more question for you. If there was one thing that you wanted the constituency, the people that you serve, to understand about being a politician and being a legislator, what would you really like them to understand that they may not understand?
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of really amazing people who are serving very selflessly in public office. And certainly that doesn't mean that there aren't folks, right, who are in it because they like the title, but there are a whole lot of us that care about the communities that we were born and raised in, the communities we work in, the communities that we are fighting for. And so, if you are looking for someone to champion an issue for you, like, your local elected officials, your statewide elected officials are the place to go for that. And we very much want to be part of that for everyone that we represent.
It's so wonderful for you and your young son to stop by, and I hope you're enjoying your day here at Communities Unite, SEIU. It's just amazing the way that they bring us all together every year.
It's great. No, it's great. It's been really wonderful.
All right, continue your amazing service, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, young man.
You say nice to meet you? Oh, we're shy. We're shy.
He's more into that lollipop than anything else.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
You
it was so
nice
to let me chat with you. All right. You ready? Let's go.
Well, as I've been mentioning throughout, we were going to have a lot of community leaders, and again, these are the types of podcasts that I like to do, where there's just such a diversity of perspectives. You have many entertainers that we've had on, community leaders, leaders of organizations. Now we've had our first politician. Oh, we have another community advocate. Her name is Tish Lopez. Come on over, Tish.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to meet
It's a
you.
pleasure meeting you
Welcome
too.
to the Union Influence Podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And so you are a union member.
I'm a volunteer, union affiliate.
Oh,
I have
okay.
been in the union, though, however, with the Culinary 226 for
Oh.
over a decade
Oh,
as
so
a
you're a union member.
organizer and shop steward. Yes.
Uh-huh. So why a union? Why did you choose that path?
I chose that path because I noticed, well, throughout my life that there's always a lot of people that have been struggling to ensure that they have their rights. Like a lot of people's rights have been violated, and people don't understand, especially people who are color, minorities, and stuff like that. They don't know that they have rights. So while working at one of the hospitality industries, I will not label the name. Um, there was a lot of discrimination happening within that culture in the hospitality industry, and I had no idea what being a shop steward meant or whatever a union organizer meant. But then I found out that that's one way that you could advocate for people, and because of that, I decided to be a union member and a shop steward.
And so now you've also gotten into so you got into leadership. That's something that we've been talking about a lot today. What led you from that transition from being a member to then deciding that you wanted to actually be a leader by being a steward?
So I'm not only a shop steward, but I also pertain to numerous nonprofits here throughout the state of Nevada and also nationwide. I belong to Poderistas, which is a nationwide organization, SCIU, as you know,
Mhm.
but also with Plan. I'm also a volunteer there, Chispa, and also Nevada Immigration Coalition. What led me to be a leader is because not that many people are able to speak for themselves or are afraid to do so. And if I could advocate, I want to do it. So that is the reason why I do it.
Right. So tell me specifically about SEIU and your affiliation with the Latino Caucus.
So, um, my friends are part of the ACIU Latino Caucus, and they needed more members. And I was just there for an event, and I was invited to it. And when they told me about it, that we were like, as an SAIU Latino Caucus member, you're able to advocate for the Latino community and to go to the legislative building and whatnot to be able to do the advocacy. So that kind of like gave me like the interest to want to do it because like if people can't do it, if I could do it, why not? Because it's all voluntary.
Right. So tell me, what are your functions? How do you support people through this caucus as a leader?
Some of the functions is we do know your rights workshops, family preparedness. We also educate people in regards to like how to get businesses and stuff like that, business licenses, and we give them like numerous resources. We're connected with multiple organizations throughout the valley, and so we just connect them with those other resources as well.
Yeah. So these nonprofit organizations, you're
We're all
essentially
affiliated.
you're like a
It's
matchmaker,
like a little
right?
hub.
Connecting the community with the proper nonprofit that will help a
Absolutely.
person with whatever situation it is that they are in.
Yeah, even more so because I am like already plugged into this. They didn't have that before. They're like, I was like, well, Lefty, can you do this? Tish, can you do this? Like, yeah, I know somebody there. Let me plug them in. So now we've been working a lot closer together. We're all been collaborating, which is a beautiful thing to see that everybody of all colors and shades and religions are all coming together in community.
Yeah. So have you attended this event before?
Communities United, yes,
Uh-huh.
I have in multiple years as just as like a volunteer for like other organizations with the Young Dems or with Plan or with Make the Road Nevada. I was a campaign manager as well for Make the Road Nevada. So
Yeah, so volunteerism, something I've learned really, Tish, is that a lot of times it was something that was bred into you as a young person. Has that been your experience? Or did you pick up volunteerism in your adult life, or did you do this as a child?
actually, I've been doing it since I was 9 years old. So I've been volunteering since I was 9 years old, and not to get deep or anything, but I was abused as a child. And because I was abused as a child, I didn't want anybody else to feel violated, abused, or anything like that. So that kind of built a fire within me to want to advocate for other individuals. And I got so plugged in. I was this shy, scrawny kid as a child. And that to me is like, you know what? I'm gonna break that mold and not do that. I want to make sure I can like speak for other people and help other people, and that's what drove me throughout my career.
So, being an advocate on so many different levels that you shared with us in this brief interview that we've done today, and leadership. If somebody out there, maybe they're watching this podcast and they're saying, wow, how can this woman, she's amazing. How can she be doing all these things? How would you instruct them to get on the path? Maybe they want to grow. Maybe they want to become a greater leader and they just don't know how. What would be the first step that you would recommend to them?
One of the biggest things that I would do personally, if you want to be connected in the movement, is try to make sure what is your values. Like to me, it's all about what your core values is. I incorporate that with my jobs and my work and everything. And every organization that I pertain to, I see what their values are, what their causes are, and then do research on them, and then do maybe a one-on-one, check out their website, and then plug in that way. If not, hit me up.
So there's an open invitation right there. You got a mentor, a leadership mentor. Tish is volunteering herself
That's
to the
right.
whole world as a volunteer mentor.
Tish Lopez, I'm on Instagram. Hit me up.
Hit Tish up if you want to become a greater leader. Any parting words? You're having fun today?
I actually am having a great time here. I think like my parting words to you all is like right now more than ever, especially with this economy and with this administration, like what I've been doing lately on my own accord is that I've been going to all these leaders in different organizations and trying to see if we could build those bridges and close those gaps. Because now more than ever, we need more unity. We can't be working in silos and start working in unity, especially because of the scarce resources that we have, the cuts and grants and everything. As you know, the rising costs as well. So there's no money for all these nonprofits and unions right now. And if you can, donate. If you can't, volunteer, or at least share, uplift those stories that they have on their social media. And, that's one way you can also get plugged in as well.
Wonderful. Well, I love your energy and your inspiration, and I see you really leading a lot of people into a better direction just because you've got the mentor spirit. You're out there. You've been doing this a long time. You're putting your hands on things. I see you having an influence on a lot more people, although I'm sure you've already influenced a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And thank you for being a part of the podcast.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Tish.
Thank you.
All right. Well, here again, we're still here at prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media, the Union Influence podcast, live from Communities Unite. Wonderful event that's held here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to take a couple of minutes here to announce our sponsors and acknowledge them. By the way, just want to continue to remind you of all the different places that you can watch podcasts for PR Connections Radio. You can watch us on our website, prconnectionsradio.com. You can also watch us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. And one more time, as far as our streaming platforms, we are really increasing our presence on the major streaming platforms out there. By the way, if you love the podcasts on our network, including the Union Influence podcast, please leave reviews of the podcasts on any of these platforms, such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, iHeart, and so many more. Please check us out wherever you like to listen to podcasts. We're going to take a short break and honor our sponsors and be back in a minute.
This podcast is brought to you by Envision U. Envision U has discovered how to impact spirit, body, and soul with spray technology in just 30 seconds. With Envision U, you can achieve optimal health and start living the life you have always dreamed of. Use the promo code envisinu.com/VernDix to take control of your health naturally.
Did you know your clothing could help balance your body's pH levels? Our cutting-edge fabric technology naturally promotes optimal pH balance, helping you feel energized, refreshed, and at your best every day. Use promo code PRTalk for more info. Tap the link in the description or contact our experts at 702-445-9488 to learn more.
Get 50,000 plus in funding without using your social security number and without putting up collateral. It's simple, it's easy, and best of all, it won't affect your personal credit. Just use promo code PRTalk when you reach out. Click the link in the captions now. Or call 702-210-4201 to speak with an expert. Funding made simple. Let's get you started today.
We're back with more of the Union Influence podcast here at Communities Unite, an event that is being hosted by SCIU 1107 in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Guy Dawson, and I'm your host. And Broadway in the Hood is my next guest here on the show today. Welcome, Broadway in the Hood.
Thank you so much. How are you?
I am wonderful.
Good.
What's Broadway in the Hood all about?
Yes, Broadway in the Hood. We're a 501c nonprofit. We focus on training and educating youth in the arts, so specifically in underserved communities. So we have professionals come in. Our choreographer right now is currently from Hamilton. We have industry professionals that come in, teach vocals and acting and all those different things. And the great part is HOOD stands for Helping Others Open Doors.
Oh, I love that acronym. What a great way to empower the word hood.
Yes, absolutely. And right now we're about to open the first African-American owned and operated theater in the history of the state of Nevada. It's called the Legacy Theater of Excellence, honoring those who have to walk through the back door so we can walk through the front.
What's your background in performing?
What's my background? My background is I'm actually from Atlanta. So I started off in technical theater. I started off doing festivals. I started off working in sound production, lighting, all those different type of things. And then I acted a little bit and all those different things. And now I mostly work with Broadway in the Hood and make sure, I'm their COO for the Legacy Theater of Excellence right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so as CEO of this project.
No, COO, not CEO. Tori Russell.
COO. Yeah. All right, so tell me what it's like to be COO.
It's great. It's fun. It's really a great opportunity to build up this next generation, as well as the generations above me. It's people that have had dreams for a long time that have never had the opportunity to get on stage. And the organization that we have offers that opportunity for people to get on stage. We just did a show, Ben Vereen and Friends. We did that with Tony Award winner Ben Vereen and Tony Award winner Lillias White. They were here at the Palms Hotel and Casino and in the Pearl Theater. Right. And we had our youngest was 8 and our oldest was 81. So people get to, we focus on the kids and they're the most important, absolutely. But we also focus on our adults as well because they want and they have the need and the drive for theater.
So in terms of mentoring and working with the youth, and you said specifically in underserved communities, what is the process? How do you recruit kids? Are these kids that are already in the performing arts, or you're encouraging them?
It's all of those. It's people that we want to encourage to be in the arts, or people that are already in the arts. It's people that don't have the opportunity. Sometimes these classes cost $300, $400, $500 to take these classes, and sometimes people can't afford to take those classes. So we offer those people who say, the first question I always ask, you ask them, can I sing? They're like, no, I can't sing. I say, do you sing in the shower? They say, yeah. Well, you're a professional singer then. So welcome in. We give them that opportunity to be able to express themselves because that's what the arts is. And it's so important during this time because the arts saves lives. And we offer that opportunity for people to come in and it literally changes their lives. People walk in and they're changed.
Yeah, I feel that the way that arts has been removed from a lot of the public schools over the years, I remember you're a lot younger than me, but I remember being a young person and the arts were a really important part between music and performing arts. That was a huge part of the curriculum, even from elementary school up. I know a lot of the public schools have started to remove that from their curriculums. So it seems like an organization like yours is supplementing nonprofit organization.
Well, the unfortunate part is, under the current administration and even before that, the arts, if there's ever a time in the budget, and we'll just say for school purposes, only. But if there's ever something in the budget that needs to be cut, the arts are the first thing that needs to be cut.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, and now the kids who use the arts as an outlet don't have that outlet anymore. And so we provide that outlet for people when the schools won't provide that outlet. But not only do we teach them the arts, but we teach them life. It's a lot of things that you need to know to be prepared to work in this business. We have 7 young people who have come from this community in Las Vegas and gone on to Broadway and performed from Broadway in the Hood. Currently, right now, we have a young man, Austin Rankins. He plays little MJ in MJ the Musical, and he's on tour right now. He's actually in Canada right now with the show, touring the show, right from this community.
Well, that's wonderful when
Yes.
you have the actual testimonials or examples of
Yeah.
somebody that came through your program and they actually went on to have success in the arts. I mean, I'm sure that is something that is very encouraging to all of you who are investing in young people and seeing them actually take to the program and then take their skills and actually go out there and make it happen.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. It's very important. It's very rewarding to see people go on beyond this and be able to go and do things professionally because that's, for some people, it's not the ultimate goal. And I always tell people because people come in, well, I don't want to sing, I don't want to dance, I don't want to. I say, okay, what do you do? I remember a young man we had in our summer camp. He played football. I said, okay, great. So how do you if you playing football and you juking somebody or something like that, what do you need to do that? He said, I need to be flexible. So when you're in dance class and you're becoming flexible, then now you get back on the field. You can use a pot of beret to maybe throw somebody off, and then now you're running 90 yards down the field, scoring a touchdown, and you MVP of the game. But it's not just about this. It's finding ways in how we can incorporate this not only just for the arts but outside of the arts because everybody's not going to be on the professional stage, and we understand that. But what can you do, and how can this apply to your everyday life?
Yeah, I like that empowering young people not to just think that becoming a professional performer, which a very small percentage of the
Right.
people ever actually do that, but that you can incorporate the things that you're learning to live a better life. One of the things I wanted to ask is how can the community support what you're doing through your organization?
Absolutely. You can go to BroadwayInTheHood.org and you can go to our donate button because we're a nonprofit organization. We run off of donations and we're very appreciative to our donors that have been with us over the years. But you can go to BroadwayInTheHood.org and you can donate, or you can text HOOD, the word HOOD, to 41444 and you can donate there.
I forgot to ask, did you perform?
Yes, our kids just performed.
Yeah,
Yes.
so what was that like?
Yeah, it was wonderful. They went out and they performed. It was a medley from the Broadway musical Hamilton. So they love different musicals. Yeah, they love different musicals. They love Wicked. They love Hamilton. So we found something that was able to be a medley for them. So they got to do a variety of numbers from that show and are able to perform that on stage. So they love that Hamilton medley.
Yeah. Well, I think what you're doing is fantastic. Broadway in the Hood, everyone. You want to look up Broadway in the Hood. They're helping the youth, specifically kids from disadvantaged backgrounds, positioning them to gain skills, of course, in the performing arts, but also in life. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? Our youth is our future, and so please support this phenomenal organization. And thank you so much for stopping by the podcast. And I'm sure
I just want to say again,
Yes.
we're opening the Legacy Theater of Excellence this Friday.
Oh, let them know.
This Friday, if you're in Las Vegas, we're opening the Legacy Theater of Excellence. You can check us out on Instagram at Broadway in the Hood, and all of our information is there.
Oh, fantastic.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you again so much, and keep up
Absolutely.
the amazing work
Thank
with
you.
the youth. The youth are our future, and setting them on a positive course is so valuable.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Guy.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, oh, wow. Well, we've got a real dignitary who's going to be coming onto our podcast right now, and it is Michelle Maese with SEIU. She is the president of SEIU, and I hear she's out there somewhere, or she's on her way. But in the meantime, I just want to circle back with all of you. And again, I hope you've been enjoying our podcast here live from Communities Unite. Just an amazing event that SEIU puts on. And I have been absolutely thrilled at the opportunity to be able to connect with so many people over the course of the day. In different aspects, we've got nonprofit organization, we've had all these different community leaders, and for me, I'm in the business that I'm in. I have the opportunity to serve at a lot of different levels in terms of public relations and marketing and this network that we have that broadcasts all over the world, and we have a host of podcasts for different genres. But I really enjoy the opportunity. Here's our guest. Come on over, Michelle. But I really do
Yes.
sincerely. And are you both going to come on at the same time? Okay. All right. Yes, we are streaming live.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
All right. So
Come on
let's
over
make
there.
sure we can all get in there. Yeah, there you go.
This is great. Okay, let me put my glasses on so I can see everybody.
All right. So Michelle and Sam with SEIU, and Michelle is the president of SEIU. Sam, what's your role?
Executive Director.
Executive Director. So we got a couple of big shots from SEIU who are now on our podcast, and thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for actually doing this for us the first year.
Yes.
We are very excited.
And I was been telling everyone, Michelle, I had the opportunity to participate in this last year as a vendor. A Philip Randolph Las Vegas had a table, and I just had a ball.
It's great.
Just to watch all of it, just to see the community come together. Of course, unionism, that's close to my heart. And when you gave me the opportunity to help out this year at a different level, which is promoting this event through the podcast, I was just thrilled for the chance to do it.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And this is, we've talked about having podcasts a couple of times, and so we're grateful that you're here. And I will tell you that your booth, A Philip Randolph, they did a great job. They represented you on stage, and Beverly and
I can't.
Evelyn, they both were up
Oh,
there.
Evelyn was
They
there?
did a great job.
That's
They gave you the
wonderful
shout
that
out.
they're both there.
Yeah.
Yes. So tell me, SEIU is one of the largest unions in the country
Yes.
in terms of membership.
Yes.
How many members?
About 2 million across the
Wow.
country, Canada, and Puerto Rico.
And I know that SEIU represents a variety of industries. How many? I mean, many, many different industries.
Hospitals, public sector workers, security guards, airport workers, and now, just as of yesterday,
Yeah. Maybe 24 hours.
we just won the right to organize gig workers in California, 500,000. So there's a big organizing campaign in California and in Boston, Massachusetts as well. So that's Uber and Lyft workers.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
SEIU
Right,
is now going to start representing gig workers such as Uber drivers.
Yep, and then Starbucks as well. There's been a years-long campaign for Starbucks workers as well. So we're really excited. We're growing.
And when you come across groups of people, Michelle, who, I mean, union's been a part of my life my whole life because my father was a UAW worker from my birth. So I've just been raised in this and around this all my life. But in terms of getting people to understand, wonderful, by the way, this is a union influence podcast. Go unions, go. We want more out there. How do you get people to understand how valuable a union is?
So what we tell people is, it's not just about, because people always want to talk about they don't want to pay for a service, right? And we say it's not about your service, it's about your power. And the more membership you have, the more voices you have. Tell management, you can't treat us like that. Here's some of the things that we need to survive on our job. Here's some of the things that you need us to survive within our job so that you're taken care of. The union's not just there for us, it's there for the community too. Just think about it. So SEIU represents 20,000 workers in Nevada. We have all 39 departments of Clark County, including the one that we're here right now, the government center. That's our union shop. We have all of we have water reclamation. So if you turn on your water today, thank a union member. If you drink less water, thank a union member, right? We have the airport, LVCVA, the health district, housing authority. We have the regional transportation commission. So we say it's just not about being part of a subscription. It's about really building the power to make sure that you have safe working conditions, you have benefits on the job, and that you can retire with dignity and respect. I know that when I retire, I want to retire and leave something for my children. We also know that our union dollars benefit our communities and small businesses like we have here, right? A lot of these businesses out here are not union members. But we know that our money can help them go a long way.
Yeah, collective bargaining and the power behind that, and being able to get people to understand that they can live a better life by being a part of a union. Just in, maybe you'll speak to this, Sam, just the wages and the package that you get when you're a union member is something that I wish more people understood the value of that.
Right. And I would say that there's a lot of folks out there, I think in the private sector, only 10% of the workforce is unionized, right? And so sometimes the challenge is not just like, it goes beyond the collective bargaining. It's about changing the system, changing the rules as well. An example of that, I would say here in the state is we we have 13,000 home care workers that are, caring for our most vulnerable populations, right? But they were stuck as independent contractors, and they were stuck at minimum wage, right, for a long time. So over about 5 years, we had to change the rules in the legislature to really make sure we invested in the care industry. And so it starts there as well. And that's why it's not just about us as union members, right? Because everyone depends on union work, right? And so I think it's about that strong collective bargaining agreement, because you continue to build off of that, but you have to start somewhere by raising standards across the entire state.
Right, which is giving back to your community, which leads me to my next question about why you got this event started and what has the impact of it been. I've already kind of explained the impact for me was I was like, oh, wow, this is really cool and enjoyed it. But the impact on the community from this event, what do you see that as?
Well, yeah, I think this started this is our 4th annual.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it started about 4 years ago. Grace McGarland-McTaub, who's now retired, our executive director from the CIU 1107, Michelle, they really were thinking about how do we bring folks together. And I think coming out of the pandemic, you saw a lot of significant challenges, not only in our airports or in our hospitals, but just you saw a lot of division, right? And so what Grace and Michelle were thinking were how do we bring everyone together to really try to find, because a lot of the same values that we fight for are the same values that everyone wants and needs as well, whether that's healthcare, education, better wages, peace of mind, right? Right now, I think it's $28 an hour to afford a 2-bedroom apartment, right? Our minimum wage is what in the state, right? So how do we raise standards? So bringing everyone together, but also understanding that, together, Las Vegas is one of the most diverse cities in all the country, right? We hear a lot of folks say Nevada is representative of the electorate, right? And we have a lot of great diverse communities, and we have to understand and learn from each other. And so I think that's where it started when we were talking about how do we unite around this? Let's celebrate each other's differences, but also learn from each other as well. So, and Michelle can talk about all that. I mean, how we continue to build that too. But that's the vision.
Yeah, we also really wanted to focus on our right to vote, right? And so we had a lot of people out that were registering people to vote at our very first event, because we realized that a lot of people either weren't registered to vote, didn't want to vote, or didn't know different ways that they can vote, right? You can vote by mail, you can vote in person. And so just bringing the power of us voting together, right? And so just knowing that our community is strong, the younger generation too, that came out the very first year that we had, registering them a lot to vote as well. But I'll tell you, this is, it's been a not even growing pain, just a learning process for us too, because we've gained so many more community partners over the last couple of years. And because we show up for them, they show up for us. It's very reciprocal. We go to a lot of events in the community. They can do a lot of our events. And because of that, we want to make sure that they're on the picket line when we're on the picket line. And when we need something, they can count on us and we can count on them. But we've built a lot more. We have 165 community partners. We had 42 vendors last year. I think we have 65 this year. So every year we're building. We're excited for our 5th year. Hope you come back for our 5th year.
Oh, absolutely.
We want it to be bigger and better. But yeah, we've had a lot of growth over the last couple of years, which is really good because the community really knows who we are. I don't even think we need to wear purple anymore. People know who we are when we're coming down the street. So, and with our union family, the carpenters help us set up all the time. We have April Grand up here. We had IATSE here. We had, who else was here today? Plumbers and Pipers always, let us use the logo, but we have a lot of our Teamsters was here. Bev from the CLC was here. We have a lot of help with our union family too. So it's great.
Yeah, the notoriety of the event. That's something that I definitely have seen. I guess I'm paying more attention because I've done this twice now, but I was seeing ads all over the place.
Oh, great.
And I think that's so important that that name recognition, and this becomes a part of the fabric of it already is a fabric of the community, but I think the consistency of putting this on, developing the partnerships, promoting unionism. I see this event just growing, and the diversity piece, again, as you touched on, Sam, which diversity is under attack.
Right.
And so for you to stay committed to being inclusive of everyone,
right,
even though right now that seems like something a lot of people are really backing. Just being very honest about it, there are a lot of organizations and companies that are backing away from inclusivity.
Yes.
And the fact that you're willing to stand up for it and continue, I just think it's admirable.
Yeah, who would we be if we didn't? We're unions for
Be
all.
true to true to who you are.
Yes,
If
yes.
not us, then who?
Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
another thing is like, SEIU across the country has been really leading on the fight and the defense of communities of color, right? And this is now more than ever, I think it's critical.
Absolutely.
We've had some union presidents that have been
Yes.
citizens, right?
Wow.
And so, there's just, we've had members that couldn't get back into the country, right? And so, this is a massive fight. Again, it's an attack on not just our democracy, but on union values and on the way that we have tried to build a better life for all. And so I think it's something we have to do. I know that there's a lot of fear out there, but we have to do it for sure.
Yeah, we fight for racial, social, and economic justice, and we won't stop, no matter who's in charge.
Right. Yeah. I just really appreciate your commitment to bettering our community. Of course, promoting unionism, because that's something that I'm extremely passionate about. And it's about our commitment at whatever level we can. We've had people have come through, and I've interviewed a lot of people today, and these incredible performers. They're extremely talented in what they do. And one of them said, well, you've got a talent too. You know how to ask people questions. And a lot of times I just don't even look at it like that. So, but yes, we've all got a contribution to make to our collective success. And for those people out there who might want to become a member of SEIU 1107, how can they learn more about what you do?
Well, they can always go to our website, seiunv.org. And also, if they work in a union shop, just some of those shops that I named, they can sign up with one of their union reps or contact us. We're all around, so they won't miss us. We'll be in the lobbies and break rooms.
Yeah, well, I know PR Connections is looking forward to the 5th annual Communities Unite event in 2026. And again, thank you so much for allowing us to partner with you on this. And obviously wish you nothing but enormous success with this event, because it's so relevant and important for our community.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the podcast and the live streaming. It sounds like, you've been live all day, right? So this is wonderful.
Yeah, I've had nothing but fun. Some of the talent that has rolled off, just to interview them, it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
And hearing their stories about, why they do what they do, I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you all, you both, for being a part of our show today. We are nearing the end. I guess we are nearing the end, aren't we, of this broadcast here from Communities Unite, a phenomenal event supported by SEIU 1107, a local here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We hope that you have enjoyed our podcast, as I had mentioned before, along with our video stream on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitch, minimally. You can also check us out on a host of audio streaming sites, including Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, iHeart, and many, many more. Please leave reviews of the podcast when you go and check it out, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Otherwise, we'll be back here in 1 year with Communities Unite with another one of their events. And take care of yourselves, and thank you for being a part of the initial podcast or broadcast of the Union Influence podcast. Many more to come. Take care of yourselves.
This episode of the PR Connections podcast is brought to you by Classy Communications PR and Advertising. Classy Communications provides public relations and marketing solutions for businesses, professionals, and nonprofit organizations. They can deliver the true meaning of your business with press releases, social media marketing, web development, email marketing, book publishing, and much more. Wherever your potential clients are, they can help you connect with them. Visit classycommunications.net to learn more about their suite of services that can help your business stand out from the rest. Classy Communications is your solution for business success.